Your mind is a time machine you use every day. What if I told you that the clock on your wall is a liar? That the steady, relentless tick-tock that runs your life is an illusion? It's a useful one, sure. Our world couldn't function without it. But it's an illusion all the same. The truth is, you already own the most powerful time machine in the universe. You've been using it every single day without even knowing it. That time machine is your mind. And I'm going to show you how to get into the driver's seat. Haven't you ever felt time just warp? Think about that perfect week of vacation. It flies by in what feels like a single day, but when you look back, it's packed with more vivid memories than an entire month of routine. Or what about those heart-stopping moments like a car swerving into your lane, where a single second seems to stretch into an eternity? You see everything with impossible clarity. This isn't just a weird feeling, it's a clue. It tells us that your personal experience of time, what scientists call subjective time, isn't fixed at all. It shrinks, it stretches, it bends, all based on what's happening inside your head. The clock on the wall might move forward, but your mind can hit slow-mo on the good parts and fast forward through the boring stuff. The question is, how? Section 1. The brain is the editor of reality. First, you have to get your head around a wild idea. Your brain doesn't just see reality, it builds it. It's not a camera passively recording the world. It's a master film editor, and all your senses are just raw footage. Every second you're hit with a chaotic flood of information, and your brain's job is to cut through the noise, pick the important shots, and stitch them together into the coherent story you call right now. Think about when you're completely lost in something you love, that state of flow. You're so focused, you completely forget that time is even a thing. Your brain is filtering out the clock, the notifications, everything irrelevant. Because your attention is so narrow, your mind processes fewer timestamps, and suddenly, hours have vanished. The opposite happens when you're bored or anxious. Your attention turns inward, and you become painfully aware of every passing second. Your brain is starving for something interesting to happen, so each tick of the clock becomes a major event in the otherwise empty film of your experience. This whole editing process is supercharged by emotion and novelty. New experiences, like your first time in a new country, are packed with data. Your brain is working overtime to capture all the unfamiliar sights and sounds. Because it's laying down such a dense web of memories, when you look back, that period feels longer and richer. Fear takes this to another level. In a crisis, your brain's alarm system, the amygdala, goes into hyperdrive, cranking up your senses to absorb as much information as possible to help you survive. It's why time seems to slow to a crawl. When you look back at that terrifying moment, it feels like it stretched on forever because your brain packed so much detail into the memory, giving you the sensation of having more time to think and act. Section 2. When reality itself bends time. Okay, so our minds play tricks on us. It's a cool bit of psychology. But what if I told you that's only half the story? It turns out your mind isn't the only thing that can bend time. The universe has been doing it all along. And this is where we have to talk about Albert Einstein. Before Einstein, everyone figured that space and time were just a fixed, rigid stage where everything in the universe happened. But his theory of relativity blew that idea to pieces. He showed that space and time are woven together into a single four-dimensional fabric, space-time. And here's the kicker. This fabric isn't stiff. It can be bent and warped by mass and energy. We feel that warping as gravity. The craziest part of this is a little something called time dilation. Time, literally, runs at different speeds depending on how fast you're moving and how strong the gravity is around you. This isn't just a theory, it's a proven, measurable fact. The clocks on GPS satellites, which are way up high where Earth's gravity is a tiny bit weaker, actually tick a fraction of a second faster than clocks down here. If engineers didn't correct for this tiny difference, your GPS would send you miles off course every single day. Let that sink in. There is no single universal clock. Time is relative. An astronaut zooming through space near the speed of light ages slower than their twin on Earth. You technically age a microscopic bit faster on the top floor of a skyscraper than you do on the ground floor. The effect on our lives is tiny, but the principle is earth-shattering. The absolute time on your wall clock is just a local illusion. It proves that the very fabric of reality treats time as something flexible. So, the fact that your mind does the same thing isn't just a weird quirk. It's mirroring how the universe actually works. Look, if your mind is as blown as mine is right now, do me a quick favor and hit those like and subscribe buttons. It's a small click for you, but it's a huge signal for us to keep chasing these big, weird, wonderful ideas together. Thanks for being here. Section 3. The Deep Connection: Quantum Reality and Consciousness. So we've got two bizarre truths. Our consciousness can warp our perception of time, and the universe can physically warp the flow of time itself. Are these just two weird things happening in parallel? Or is there a deeper connection? Some of the wildest theories in physics think so, and they take us right to the foundation of reality. A growing number of physicists believe that space-time isn't fundamental. It might be an emergent property, kind of like how the wetness of water emerges from trillions of individual H2O molecules. Up close, at the quantum level, it's a chaotic dance of particles. But from our perspective, water is smooth and fluid. In the same way, space-time might just be our macroscopic view of a much deeper quantum reality. One of the coolest ideas is that space-time is literally stitched into existence by quantum entanglement, that strange, instantaneous link between particles that Einstein called spooky action at a distance. In this view, what we experience as space and time is just a reflection of the connections in this vast, underlying quantum network. And this is where it might all click together. If physical reality is built from information, and our conscious experience is also built from how our brain processes information, then our minds aren't just watching the show. We're participating in a process that echoes the construction of the universe itself. Your perception of time isn't just a psychological quirk. It's your personal interface with this flexible reality. The ancient Greeks had two words for time: chronos, the clock time that we measure, and kairos, the meaningful, opportune, and subjective moment. Physics has shown us that even chronos is flexible. But kairos? Kairos is the time you actually live in, the time shaped by your attention, your emotions, your focus, by your consciousness. Section 4. Becoming the Time Traveler. Realizing this is more than just a cool thought experiment. It's the key to taking back control over your life. Your mind's time machine has a single control knob: your attention. No, we can't literally visit the dinosaurs or see the future, but we can absolutely pilot our experience of the present. Things like mindfulness and meditation are basically time perception training. When you practice being mindful, you're deliberately focusing your attention on the rich details of right now. This practice can make time feel fuller and more expansive, slowing down that frantic sense of rush. But you don't have to sit on a cushion for hours. Practice this anywhere. When you're with someone you love, put your phone away. Give them your complete, undivided attention. You are literally stretching that precious time, making the memory of it denser and more meaningful. When you're stuck doing a boring chore, instead of counting the minutes, try to get lost in the physical sensations of the task. You can compress the experience, making the time fly because your attention is focused and engaged. By choosing where you point your focus, on novelty, on gratitude, on connection, you are choosing to stretch the moments that matter and shrink the ones that don't. You get to live more in kairos and less in chronos. Conclusion. That clock on your wall isn't lying exactly. It's just telling a very small part of a much bigger, wilder story. It measures the steady march of physical time, but you live in a world that's so much richer. A world shaped by your memories, your feelings, and above all, your attention. We've seen that your brain is an active editor of reality, able to stretch a moment into an eternity, or shrink an hour into an instant. We've learned that this mirrors the universe itself, where time is a flexible, bendable fabric. And we've explored the mind-bending possibility that both reality and our experience of it are built from the same fundamental thing: information. You are not a helpless passenger being swept down the river of time. You are the pilot of your own perception. The most sophisticated time machine in the known universe is sitting right between your ears. So the next time a moment seems to speed up or slow down, remember what's happening. You're not just losing track of time. You are actively shaping it. The only question left is, where will you decide to travel next?